Council meeting to order at 4:07 p.m. And so I'll get ahead of myself. Roll call, please.
Mayor Hawkins.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Plummer.
Here.
Councilmember Such.
Here.
With Councilmember Seegerstrom and Garaventa absent.
No, Garaventa's
Really?
here.
I think Jim's
Yes,
there.
Wow. 2 months month and a half too soon.
Isn't it interesting how we are becoming
Boy,
irrelevant
it's
already?
like boom. Getting ready for the new crowd.
Right. We have been dismissed.
You know, they're only doing this to you because it's your last day.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. That's great. So just let the record show that Mayor Pro Tem Plummer is on a Zoom meeting as allowed by law. And then Councilmember Seegerstrom could not be here at this time. So, okay, so there are 4 of us. Any public comments? I hadn't seen anybody in the hallway a minute ago, so.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody when I came in.
Okay. Okay, so we will adjourn into closed session at 4:08 p.m. Okay. Okay, I'd like to call the open session for the Sonora City Council meeting on Monday, May 16th, 2022, to order at 5:08 p.m. For the pledge. Councilmember Garaventa, would you lead us, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Garaventa. Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Hawkins.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Plummer.
Here.
Councilmember Such.
Here.
Councilmember Garaventa.
Here.
Councilmember Seegerstrom.
Here.
Okay, let the record show that we are all here. Report out on closed session. We just took a report, so there was no action given.
And we will return to closed session at the end of the regular agenda.
Okay, city clerk's report on agenda posting.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, May 12th at 1:00 p.m.
Thank you. And then approval of the agenda. Everyone okay with it? Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Good.
Now I'll look to the rest of the council. Everything's cool?
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Presentations. Swearing in ceremony and introduction of Police Community Service Officer Kayla Parker. Someone is very excited and I love the energy. It is awesome.
Awesome indeed. I tell you what, it's one of my favorite things to do to introduce new employees, especially one as outstanding as this. She's been with us for a little bit now and really proven to fit well and integrated as part of the family. And so very happy to have her. So Mr. Mayor, Honorable Council, there's no action required on this item. This is one of our new community service officers who we kept so busy she wasn't even available for the last ceremony. So I think you were in training, weren't you? So she really hit the ground running, and we've had her in trainings and internal training. Look at that.
This city council loves children. I just want to throw that out there. So if you want to hold her, I think that's awesome.
Amen.
All right. So this is Kayla Parker. She tested for the position in October of last year and was hired on January 17th. And obviously had a very thorough pre-employment screening process, and she's been very busy since then, as I mentioned, between attending very important training for her specific job duties in our property and evidence, but also making much needed updates to our property and evidence sections. She comes with a little bit of experience in that area, and of course a fresh set of eyes, and she's really been hitting it hard, so she got here. So after I introduce Kayla, Kayla's husband Casey is here, and he will be pinning the badge. I'll call him up in a few minutes. So Kayla was born and raised in a small rural community on the California Central Coast, much like Sonora. She grew up very involved in viticulture and animal agriculture, but took her career in a different direction when she joined Calaveras County as an animal control services officer. Soon after, she had the opportunity to join Modesto Police Department as an evidence technician. Working in large, fast-paced departments allowed her to learn and experience the nuances of evidence collection, processing, and management in a variety of cases. She said she's excited to be a part of Sonora Police Department, where she can use her professional knowledge and passion for excellence to serve the community she now calls home. So with that, I will administer the oath of office and ask Casey to step up here. And so first I'll read this, and then I'll give you the nod, and you can stab away at the uniform shirt there with that badge. Can you raise your right hand? You can do it too if you want. Yeah, all right, there we go.
Aw.
And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kayla Parker,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California
of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign
foreign
and domestic,
and domestic,
and I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
And I take this obligation freely,
And I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duty
the duty
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
All right, hoorah. So, if you do the honor.
Does that mean we now have a 2-for-1 deal here?
All right.
I was gonna say, that was me about 8 years ago.
That was the best swearing in ever,
Yeah, I agree. That really was.
ever.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's awesome. Okay, so next on to public comment for non-agenda items. The public may address the council on any item of public interest not otherwise on the agenda that is within the jurisdiction of the city. No action may be taken. Matters to be addressed may be referred to city staff or placed on subsequent meeting agenda. Speakers are limited to a 3-minute presentation. If participating via Zoom, please raise your hand using the raise your hand feature or dial *9, *6 to unmute. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Sue Osborne, and I'm here as an observer for the League of Women Voters. And I'll wave too.
Thank you for being
She's
here.
all set for the parade, isn't she?
Uh-oh.
Good evening. My name's Ann Leonard, and first of all, I would like to commend the council on all the work that's being done in the city of Sonora with the sidewalks and the crosswalks and making it a better place. I have one suggestion in that when I attended the forum, I crossed from Washington Street over to the administrative building, and there's no crosswalk to get over there safely. Once you get to the end of the diagonal, there's no crosswalk either on Jackson Street or the street that goes by the administrative building. So that might be something that you consider, putting a crosswalk at one of those streets to make it safer. And the second thing is, my street, West Sunset, is probably the worst street in the city of Sonora. So if one or more of you would like to go and see all the potholes on West Sunset, I would appreciate it.
I'll be over there. We're neighbors. Okay, anyone else like to come up and speak?
Hello, my name is Justin Flynn. I'm with Sonora Action Sports Park. We are a newly founded nonprofit organization umbrellaed under Sierra Nonprofit. Today I have a few of my team members with me, and our mission is to create a new action sports park for the community. In this sports park, we plan on having BMX, skateboarding, mountain biking, community walking paths, remote control car track, grass area, and a dog park. Also on site, we plan on having a steel building that has a couple offices inside and the indoor part of the park with a little snack shack and little resale store, just like Habitat for Humanity has, except we would be accepting like donated bicycles, skateboards, safety equipment, that kind of stuff. We are about a year and a half into this project. We've just been kind of doing our build up, getting our name out there, working on our business proposal. We have project models. We've done 3 events. We've done excuse me, Tree of Life ceremony downtown Sonora. We planted a 20-foot tall sycamore tree in the courthouse park. We did a Halloween skateboard competition at the skate park, and then we've done a film fest with all the kids in the community that made their own videos of them doing their outdoor action sports and played them on the big screen at the Elks Lodge. So this is nothing new. I was born and raised here, and this has been an issue our whole life, and that's what we are here to do, is to fix some of the problems, be a hand and be a service of Sonora and Tuolumne County to help build a drug and alcohol-free environment where there's no crime. And we plan on having a on-site counselor that works part-time, so kids that are struggling at home can get help if needed. And this park is really just about being there for kids in the community and building them
30
up.
seconds.
And letting them do good in life. Today is just kind of an introductory. We have tons of information and stuff that we can bring to you. And we're hoping to get on the agenda in a near future council meeting. And hopefully we can work with you guys soon and get something going for our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Where's your location? That's mine.
So that's our biggest thing right now that we're looking for. We have a couple spots that we really like. We are focused on Sonora though. We'd like to keep it in the city or near the city, since Sonora is the core of Tuolumne County. This is where all the surrounding towns come and do their shopping and all that stuff. And it's really the only town that doesn't have anything for the kids like this. So we want to help fix up Sonora with all the homelessness going on and the way that it's been going. We want to help recreate the image of Sonora and help boost our economy and give kids a safe haven and families a place to go. So Sonora is where we're focused on. We're open to any properties if anybody has any hints or clues to where one might be. I don't know if you guys, I have been here before and asked, and there was a couple. One was by the homeless camp, and we were just a little concerned of doing it down there because it's like the total opposite of what we're trying to create. But we're open if you guys maybe something wasn't thought of or something comes up. We're more than happy to take a look at any properties that are available. Otherwise, we're going to have to fundraise the money to try and build one. And we have a couple professional grant writers. We have quite a few professionals on our team. So we plan on doing most of the funding for this park through grants and like Tony Hawk. I've talked to Tony Hawk, and they're on board to help us and double and triple some numbers once we get to a certain amount, and go through big sponsorships and social media. And so we have quite a bit of avenues as far as funding goes to help with this park. We're probably about 10 acres minimum. We could squeeze it all in. It's sounds like a lot, but just the parking lot is 3, you know, and with the community walking trails and stuff, it's kind of spread out. So I do have a copy of the plans that I'm gonna leave with you guys. This is just total rough draft. Once we get to an actual property, then we can totally design it. We have designers and all that stuff, so we can design it to the property. But anywhere from 10 to 15 acres might sound like a big number, but you know, with hundreds of thousands of acres of land up here in national forest, 10 to 15 acres to have something so wonderful for this community and for the kids is really not asking for much. So we're hoping that something comes through, and yeah, got a good feeling about it. So that's where we're at right now.
So I'll just throw out there, it was a year and a half ago, I came and spoke with her group right when it was getting started. I threw out a bunch of my ideas, and you know how it can be confusing, and I actually didn't confuse them, which was a plus. But they've actually taken a lot of my advice, and I appreciate that an awful lot, and ran with it, and they're going to get something. It's not just, you know, because ideas come and go, but you're really sticking with your plan. You've gotten a lot of community support. I look forward to when we can have you back up here so you can actually have a big presentation and go through things and ideas and that sort of thing. And, you know, hopefully we're able to get behind you somehow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for your time, and I will leave this with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in the near future. Thank you.
Cool.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Okay, would anyone else like to comment on public comment on non-agenda items? Okay, very cool, thank you. And again, I look forward to working with y'all when you come back up here, or it could be Mr. Plummer, who knows, that'll be announcing that too. So, okay, excellent. On to consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar considered routine and will be voted on in one motion unless a council member or a member of the public has a question or wishes to discuss an item. In that case, the item will be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately. Item number 4, approval of city council minutes from March 7th, 2022, March 21st, 2022, April 6th, 2022, and April 18th, 2022. Item number 5, adopt resolution 516-2022A, authorizing remote teleconferencing meetings of city council and its committees and commissions for 30 days pursuant to government code 52953E, Brown Act provisions. Item number 6, approval of a letter of support for the historic building restoration grant program, authorizing the mayor to sign the letter. Item number 7, approval of disbursements in the amount of $165,093.13 for payroll, inclusive of employee salaries, employer and employee taxes, and retirement contributions, miscellaneous voluntary employee deductions, holiday pay, and other adjustments, including retro pay. Okay, would any council member like to pull any of those from the consent calendar? Okay, I see Mark shaking his head. Okay, is there any discussion on these? Okay, then I will ask for any public comment on these. Nothing on Zoom either. Okay, I'll bring it back to the council for a motion and a second.
I will move to approve the consent calendar.
I second that.
Second.
Mark?
She beat you, Mark.
Yeah, Colette beat you. Okay, so motion by Councilmember Garaventa, second by Councilmember Such. Okay, we'll have to do a roll call since one is on Zoom, so roll call vote, please.
Mayor Hawkins,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Plummer,
Aye.
Councilmember Such,
Aye.
Councilmember Garaventa,
Aye.
Councilmember Segerstrom.
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. Okay, next on up is unfinished business, no unfinished business, excuse me, new business, item number 8. Adopt Resolution 516, 2022B, establishing an electronic signature use policy.
Mayor, if I might just announce to the council and members of the public that this will be Jackie's last meeting with the city council as our deputy clerk. And I just want to thank her for the job that she did. And it's only fitting that she finished this off tonight with an item of her own. So we wish Jackie well. She's moving onwards and upwards, has a great opportunity with Tuolumne County. So we are very proud to see her move on and wish her the best. And so Jackie, I turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your last item.
Thank you. So it's become increasingly apparent that electronic and digital signatures are a tool vital to the efficiency of public agencies, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Staff, public, and related parties have all repeatedly requested the city utilize its resources to accept electronic signatures. By not being able to accept electronic signatures, we can't get written ones right away. We end up having to mail them, which takes multiple days, which can result in us missing out on funding opportunities. So the fiscal impact, it's not known, but it would have a positive impact in general, reduction of paper, not missing those funding opportunities, etc. So staff recommends the council adopt resolution 0516-2022B, establishing an electronic signature policy, allowing the city to collect and preserve signatures on documents quickly, securely, and efficiently, while reducing the use of paper, facilitating document retention, promoting digital filing, and contributing to an effective city records management system.
That was awesome.
Bravo.
Okay, any council members have any questions? I'll just throw out there, I just recently, within probably the last 8 months, did an electronic signature with my attorney's office. And it has saved me the hassle of having to go back and forth, and that has saved me time and gas money, and that is really expensive right now. So my hope is that this will have the same effect. So, okay, so no council member questions. Oh, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, thank you. So I had 3 questions. The first is the type of technology involved. Some of us old people, while we're willing to sort of trust it, we don't understand the technology involved. I know it involves some encryption and maybe even the use of blockchain type technology, but could you briefly explain for me and those of the audience who don't understand it, what technology is out there so that it guarantees it's by a given person?
Yeah, so in the use policy, electronic signature is defined as a means of electronic sound, symbol, or process attached to or logically associated with an electronic record and executed or adopted by a person with the intent to sign the electronic record. For purposes of this use policy, a digital signature is a type of electronic signature. So the main form that we'll be using is Adobe Acrobat to sign our documents using a digital ID. So that associates it with the user that's signed into Adobe Acrobat, so that way you can directly see who signed it. We can use additional software. We can use written signatures. We can use signature pads. It's basically at the discretion of the council and administration.
So then the second question was just general information, but under Part 5, General Policy Rules, Item C, Consent. My understanding is that, at least for the first signature, then each signature, well, the first signature at least requires a 2-step procedure. So you get consent to do it, and then the consent or the actual signature. Is that correct? Because that's how it works with my accountant, but I have to repeat it every year for the electronic filing.
Yeah, so it works essentially the same way a written signature was, which is before you ask somebody to sign something, you have to ask them. You can't just insert their signature. It's just to make sure that all parties that sign the document know what they're signing.
And then item D, signature use, says the city manager or designee may require the use of manual, electronic, or digital signatures. So what would be the various circumstances that would dictate one or the other? I mean, there's some of
Generally,
in the presentation there, but that was my most obvious question.
so the main point in there is that they may. So we're not trying to replace written signatures at all. They're still really handy a lot of the time. But in certain instances, we might need an electronic signature, especially if we're submitting something digitally or if we need to get something back right away. So that would be the instance where we require one.
Thank you very much. I'm done.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, then I'll ask the public if there's any comments. Don't everyone run up at once. Okay, anyone on Zoom? Okay, so I'll bring it back to the council. Any more questions or a motion in a second?
I will move to adopt resolution 05-16-2022-B, which is establishing a electronic signature use policy. It's nice to move into the 21st century.
Finally.
Second.
Okay, so motion by Councilmember Garaventa, second by Councilmember Segestrom. Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Plummer?
Aye.
Councilmember Such?
Aye.
Councilmember Garaventa?
Aye.
Councilmember Segestrom?
Okay, passes 5-0. And that is all for new business. So we've got our monthly reports and then council member and department head reports. So I will start with the Chief of Police.
I think he was.
That's like a record. Say it's like a Ron Stern meeting.
I just wanted to make mention that this week is National Peace Officer Memorial Week. May 15th, which was Sunday, was National Police Officer Memorial Day. And so with that, I'll just make a quick mention of some of the statistics across the country over the past year. So 73 law enforcement officers were feloniously killed in 2021. Representing a 58.7% increase compared to the 46 officers killed in 2020, which was the highest total since 2011. In 2021, there were 24 unprovoked attacks, so just random killings, be it laying and waiting or just aggressively just wanting to kill an officer for nothing related to any crime enforcement tactics. So, a side note, 257 law enforcement officers did die in line of duty from illnesses related to COVID-19. So it was another year of additional influences that made the job a little more challenging, as did for everybody as well. So I just wanted to pass that on. National Police Officer Memorial Week and Day was established in 1962 by President Kennedy. And so the entire week after the Sunday follows that. Typically we have a local memorial. We haven't been able to do that for a few years. Last couple have been for reasons related to the COVID pandemic, and more recently just staffing issues that both, just like our agency, the Sheriff's Department, who usually coordinates it, they didn't have the staffing to put it together this year. So at least at this level, we can all just kind of make an acknowledgement that that is what this week is for, and you see our flag at the police department is at half staff.
Thank you.
Chief Vanderweel.
Oh, Chief, the Mayor Pro Tem has a question.
I did, sir. I tried to get you before you had left the podium by gently raising my hand, but that's too quiet. So
I forgot to look at the screen. I
known
apologize.
for. Anyway, from you, the monthly report, we had total incidents and officer initiated the April 2021 was around 1,000. Is 1,000 the perfect number that it came out to be, or is that a sort of a placeholder rounding?
Nope, I did not round up or down.
Just perfect 1,000. Well, that's pretty incredible. So, okay, I was really struck by it.
It just worked out that way, I guess, yeah.
Thank you. I'm not intending to put you on the spot. I was just surprised. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you.
Is our fire chief here tonight? Okay. Okay, so on to Mr. Gorski. Anything? He has something.
Just announcing that at the next meeting, we'll be looking at our fiscal 22-23 proposed budget.
Cool. Anything from our city attorney tonight?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Oh, Rochelle is here. I can't see her. Oh, there she is. Okay, I'm sorry, Rochelle. I thought you left. I think a member of the audience was blocking you. That'd be Darren.
Just want to give you a couple updates on some projects, some city not, and some not. Bank of Stockton is open, as you guys know, and we are wrapping up all of our reviews. So they should have full occupancy by the end of the week. They should be done with us and rocking and rolling. So that's good, and it turned out really nice. It's a nice building. We also have the sidewalk project ongoing up here by the Red Church, and they should be done with that project within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So they'll be wrapping everything up on that. And then the bathroom project, we're about 6 weeks out on that. And then that project will be completed, and we can move all the storage stuff and the porta potties and everything out of the parking lot and move our farmers market people in there. So we'll be good. So anyway, just want to let you know, last weekend was the first weekend at the farmers market. I was up at graduation up at Humboldt State, so I didn't get to go, but I heard it was a really good turnout. We have a lot of new vendors this year, so it's going to be a busy market. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Really was nice. Okay. Melissa.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay. I'll go with council members. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'm going to let you go first just because you're remote.
Thank you very much. So we had a LAFCO meeting that some of the council members might find interesting to review. It was all on Zoom, so it's easy to find. And then the TUD special meeting with the council was, I thought, very fruitful and encouraging. And I would like to remind the public that this is an issue that we must get control of our water, and we need to support TUD in this effort. And I appreciate all of our council being there, and I believe that we have a lot of public support for this, but it is an absolute must-do for this. That includes our city, obviously. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Segestrom.
As Councilmember Plummer noted, we were all at the TUD meeting, and I continue with his endorsement of supporting TUD to purchase our. We were announced the only county in the state that doesn't own their own water rights, so I think we need to rectify that as soon as possible. I also attended the TCTC trail meeting where the City Council, TCTC, and Caltrans went over all of the plans, Vision Sonora and Stockton, Washington intersection plans and improvements and what was going to happen, and also the improvement of the Dragoon Gulch Trail. So there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on in terms of transit, And I appreciate Melissa leading the charge on that for the city and getting that meeting together. And it was really interesting to meet with all of the partners, including the Highway Patrol, and learn about traffic and circulation, which I didn't know that much about. So I also went to the Yes Partnership, and there was a great presentation by the Somerville High School. It's called Friday Night Live. It's a small group, but they did a whole anti-vaping campaign. And little did I know that 85% of students don't know that vaping isn't harmless. So they have a really active and vital thing going on up at Somerville, which would be a nice thing to. I think that ACTA is trying to get it started as well at Sonora High. And I listened to a Cal City speaker, Shirley Weber, PhD, our Secretary of State. She is one impressive woman. And I wish that all of our elected state officials were that open, that willing, that hardworking, and just a genuine people person that's in the right place at the right time. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Garaventa.
Attended the Solid Waste Committee meeting last Tuesday, or Wednesday rather. Most of the discussion was on the extension by the county, not the city of course, but the county for waste management for a large portion of the county. Kind of a last minute, they have some last minute issues with rates, rate discussion. So they're working that out. However, we do have there are two people at large on the solid waste committee, and we recommended to the board, I believe, or I guess, or else we put it on directly. I'm not sure exactly how. It's a board of supervisors committee, so I think that still has to go to the board of supervisors. However, we did recommend that a city resident, Mr. John Latore, would be the appointed to the vacant seat on the solid waste committee. And I've worked with John at the County Planning Commission for many years, and he's quite capable and very, very qualified to be a person to do that. We had our Tolman County Transportation Commission meeting, or council meeting rather. We went over the budget for both the Transportation Council and the Transportation Agency. And it will be finalized sometime in September, but we went over the draft and approved that. There is going to be the call for funds for, I forget the name of the program, but that the city and county both had access to. The county was the only one that put in a project, and we approved that project. It's going to be resurfacing and looking at some of the alignments on Phoenix Lake Road between Paseo de la Portales and Ridgewood Drive. There was a fatal accident there not that long ago, and there's some very severe vertical curve site issues at an intersection. So there's going to be some work done there. So it was definitely a safety project that is needed rather. And there was another thing that I was going to talk about on that commission. Oh, the allocations for local transportation funds, or LTF funds, between the city and the county were doled out, and we got it's based on population, we got our very small amount. Somewhere in this, I don't know I have the exact numbers somewhere. Oh, here it is, $52,445, which can't really be used a whole lot on paving, but we have a lot of paving issues, as a member of our community just alluded to. And that doesn't do a whole lot for that, but that's one of the few funds that we can actually use to do that. So it's too little, but at least we got something. So that's it for me.
Cool. Thank you. Councilmember Such.
I actually missed a couple meetings this 2-week period, but I did attend an ATCA special board meeting, and it was a personnel issue that they had to convene a special meeting to speak about. I also attended the joint meeting, water meeting. Jim was there. And the entire TUD board, entire board of supervisors and entire council were there, as well as city staff and county staff and TUD staff about purchasing the water system. And I also agree with Council Member Plummer and Segerstrom that we need to purchase our water. We need to own our water system. And the thing that I kind of like to emphasize when I talk about this is their projected, our water rates now are less than the average rate for similar counties, surrounding counties. And with this purchase, our water rates will go up, but they will be probably around average with surrounding counties. And I think that that's really important for people to understand. Water is a decreasing commodity with rising temps and decreased rainfall and warmer winters. Our storage is in serious trouble, and water availability throughout the year is decreased. So it's an exciting opportunity. It's certainly once in a 100-year opportunity. I mean, I think the water rights were decided, have been decided, it comes up periodically, but not very often. And it really is important that we move forward with this and support TUD. And there will be many, I think, community meetings about this for people. I also attended the Tuolumne County Commission on Homelessness meeting last week, and I was, in addition to that meeting, I was part of the outdoor shelter ad hoc committee, and we were charged with looking for places for outdoor shelters that could be organized and supervised and secure. And we looked at many pieces of property. Most were county properties, which that it's easier for the county to provide their funding if it's their property. But we also looked at Caltrans property, and we gave them our recommendation. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I had to miss the LAFCO meeting. I had something going on with the kids. And then our joint meetings with the TUD and the Board of Supervisors, and of course us. During that meeting, I asked our city administrator to bring something forward to the council so we can show our support and just make it very public out there and help out any way we can. If any members of the public have any questions, I'll do my best to try to answer, but I'm not no water expert by any means. And then the last one was, and this was exciting, today we opened up did the ribbon cutting on the senior center. It's been closed for 2 years. It is now open again. It's very exciting. A lot of people were there, a lot of seniors, a lot of veterans. It was very exciting. So I was really glad to be a part of it and very humbled to be a part of it. So that's all I have, and we will call the meeting over at 5:50 p.m.
We're not stopping the meeting.
We're going to go back to closed session.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Deep in thought here. So yes, now I'm going to adjourn the open session at 5:50, but we're going to be going back into closed session. So there we go. Okay, I'd like to bring it back to open session. Report that direction was given to staff, and we will end the meeting at 6:14 p.m.